Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Good afternoon all the students, and today we will discuss very important current affair of 5th and 6th of December 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affair. So watch this video till last. So let's start 5th and 6th of December 2021 current affair. But first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Who has been named as Female Player of the Year 2021 by the Badminton World Federation? So we will cover two questions. One is the Female Player of the Year award. Second is the Male Player of the Year award, and both awards are given by Badminton World Federation. And in the females category, this award was won by Chinese Taipei area's very famous badminton player Tai Zhu Ying. So answer of this question is A. But in the males category, Males Player of the Year Award 2021 goes to Victor Axelsen. So remember, D is the answer, and Victor belongs to Denmark. Denmark's. So you can remember Denmark's Victor Axelsen and China's Taipei's area Tai Zhu Jing were named as the Male and Female Player of the Year 2021 respectively by the World Badminton World Federation. And Victor Axelsen is an Olympic champion, and even Tai Zhu Jing is also a Tokyo Games silver medalist. Tokyo Games silver medalist. And she also won Badminton World Federation World Tour Finals in the 2020 and secured a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. You can also see here, Victor Axelsen was rewarded for the extraordinary run starting from the Barcelona, Spain Masters in the February 2020. That's why he was awarded. And Tai Zhu Ying won all England Open title in 2020 and all three finals at the three tournament Asian leg in the January 2021. And she also won the Badminton World Federation World Tour Finals in the 2020 and secured a silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. This is again very important. But again, there are so many categories like Most Improved Player of the Year, Player of the Year, Para Badminton Player of the Year, Female Para Badminton Player, Male Para Badminton Player, Adi Chung Most Promising Player, and Special Mention. But don't have to remember because no Indian player is there. Just remember the Male Player of the Year in the badminton and Female Player of the Year in the badminton. Male is Victor Axelsen, belongs to Denmark, and Tai Zhu Ying belongs to Chinese Taipei area, and both won the Male and Female Player of the Year by the Badminton World Federation. This is the question, and you have to just remember the question as same as in both slides. Moving to next category. This is our very important question section. But first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform and join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Which state became the first state in the country to introduce the Van Adhikar application? Van Adhikar application. Van means forest. Adhikar means that is rights. So it is forest rights application. And answer of this question is Tripura. C is the answer. You can also remember the keyword which is highlighted in the blue, and this is also underlined. And this is Union Minister Giriraj Singh Ji. You can see here the picture of Giriraj Singh Ji, who launched, who is currently the Union Minister of Rural Development, along with the Minister of State Phaggan Singh Kulsate Ji, virtually launched the National Generic Document Registration System, National Generic Document Registration System, and Van Adhikar mobile application, which is in Tripura. So with this, Tripura became the first Indian state in the country to introduce this Van Adhikar application. Van Adhikar or Forest Right is a GPS-based mobile application for the demarcation of the forest. Patta stands for land rights for the landless indigenous people under the Forest Rights Act of 2006. Again, very important, especially for the Tripura students. Even 1.3 lakh tribal people will get back their land rights under the Van Adhikar mobile application along with a uniform map of their land. And through these two new schemes, one is basically this National Generic Document Registration System, second is Van Adhikar mobile application. Each and every plot in the state will get a unique ID and the registration process will become easier. So that's why this Van Adhikar mobile application is started in the state of Tripura. You can also remember the name of the governor is Satyadev Narayan Arya. Satyadev Narayan Arya, and the chief minister is Biplab Kumar Dev. Biplab Kumar Dev. So just remember the name. Moving to next question. Which bank has conferred as the best bank for the women entrepreneurs? Again, very important question, even the most important question for the banking students. And this award basically given under the 4th Global SME Finance Awards 2021. First of all, you have to remember this 4th Global SME Finance Awards is constituted by United States-based SME Finance Group. SME Finance Group. And this goes to ESF Small Finance Bank. So answer of this question is B. Very simple question and very important answer. ESF Small Finance Bank conferred as the best bank for the women entrepreneurs. And you can also remember this bank headquarter is in Thrissur. Thrissur, 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 and it is situated in Kerala. It is situated in Kerala. So you can see here Global SME Finance Awards, and this award goes to the Small Finance Bank, ESF Small Finance Bank, and it is recognized as the best bank for the women entrepreneurs. And it is due to gender equal opportunities provided by the Small Finance Bank through the universal financial access, livelihood and the economic development. And ESF Small Finance Bank was basically launched in 2017, and its managing director and the CEO is currently Paul Thomas, or Thomas Paul, you can just remember Thomas Paul or Paul Thomas. It is also for providing micro loans to the women in unserved and underserved households in India. So especially they focus to provide the financial assistance to the women so that they can become the entrepreneur. And you can also remember this award if you can. This is SME Finance Award, and this award was instituted in the year of 2018. And these award recognized financial institution and financial technological companies for their outstanding achievements in the delivering services to the small and medium enterprises. So just remember, it is ESF Small Finance, and I am again telling you this is the most important question for the banking students. Next is, what is the name of India's first indigenous server for blockchain technology or for the development of blockchain technology? And even Minister of State for Electronics and Information Technology and Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Rajiv Chandrasekharji, inaugurated or launched this indigenous server, and name of this indigenous server is Rudra. So answer of this question is C. So you can see here, Minister of State for Electronics and Information and Technology, Rajiv Chandrasekharji, launched this indigenous server and also launched national strategy on the blockchain technology. So this national strategy on blockchain technology was formulated by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology to create trusted digital infrastructure and platform through shared blockchain infrastructure. So the strategy document would provide the guidance for creating a nationwide ecosystem for creating the national blockchain platform and the development of relevant application. So it will promote research and development, innovation you can say, technology and application development, especially in India, and facilitate the state-of-art, transparent, secure and trusted digital service delivery to the citizens and business. So it is just to secure and provide the security for the digital India. And Minister of State, Information and Electronics and Technology launches India's first indigenous server, which is named as Rudra. And you can also remember that Rudra, which was developed by CDAC, CDAC stands for Center for Development of Advanced Computing, under the National Supercomputing Mission supported by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and Department of Science and Technology. And even you can also remember that this Rudra server design can be used for manufacturing classical standalone commercial servers, and also as building blocks for the building large supercomputing whose speed is like in petaflops system of tens of petaflops of computing performance. So this is very important. So it is just to secure the Indian digital system, because India is going digital. Every day we are increasing digital, you can say peripheral area. So that's why we need security also. So that's why we are developing this blockchain technology, and also we launch the blockchain, you can say document, so that how we can achieve this blockchain system technology in India. And you can also remember Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Union Minister is Ashwini Vaishnav. Ashwini Vaishnav constituency is Odisha, and he is currently the member of Rajya Sabha. Moving to next question. Which Indian American mathematician has been selected for the first Cyprian Foiss Award in operator theory? So you have to just remember the question as same as in slide, and he is currently the very famous mathematician who is working in the very famous university, and answer of this question is Nikhil Srivastava. D is the answer. So you can see here, Nikhil Srivastava received the 2022 Cyprian Foiss Prize for 2022, sorry, not 20, for 22. And you can also see here, the award has been given for Nikhil Srivastava for his work in developing and introducing techniques to understand the characteristics polynomial of matrices, including the iterative sparsification. And along with Nikhil Srivastava, two another, you can say, mathematician. One is Adam Marcus, Adam Marcus belongs to Switzerland. And second is Daniel Spillman. Daniel Spillman belongs to United States of America, are other two recipients of this award. And you have to just remember the name of Nikhil Shrivastava. You can also see here the picture of Nikhil Shrivastava here. And Nikhil Shrivastava currently teaches at the University of California. Again, very important. But he also won recently Held Prize for 2021. Held Prize for 2021. Even he also won the George Polya Award. George Polya Prize. Again, very famous prize for the especially for the mathematician, and he was awarded with this award in 2014. But very famous is Held Prize 2021. So just remember Nikhil Shrivastava, very famous mathematician. He won Cyprian Foyce Award for 2022. Moving to next question. Kinara Capital signed whom as its official brand ambassador? So again, very important question, especially for the banking students, because in banking exam, so many brand ambassadors are asked by the examiner. So that's why Kinara Capital, very famous organization. Basically, Kinara Capital offers business loan to all SMEs or MSME sector, including manufacturing, trading, and services. And this company signed recently Ravindra Jadeja as the brand ambassador of his company. So you can see here, Kinara appoints Capital Ravindra Jadeja as the brand ambassador. The name is Kinara Capital. And this is the 10th anniversary of the company, so that's why they appointed Ravindra Jadeja. And Kinara Capital provide loan service to India's MSME. Till date, Kinara Capital had disbursed almost 70,000 collateral-free loans. And its main aim is to reach 500% growth from current asset under the management of 1,000 crore and finance additional 1 lakh collateral-free SME loan by the year of 2025. And remember, Kinara Capital headquarters is in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Next is recently 22nd Hornbill Festival was started in which state? And again, very important question, we discussed so many times. And Hornbill Festival basically celebrated by Nagaland. You have to remember the number. It is 22nd Hornbill Festival, and it is celebrated at a very famous place of Nagaland. It is Kohima. So remember, and a very Naga heritage village in the Nagaland is Kisama, which is situated in Kohima. So this is celebrated in Kisama. So you can also remember, and you can also see here, this is Hornbill Festival, which is begun in Nagaland. And this festival is also called Festival of Festival. That's why this is very important. And it is the largest celebration of the indigenous warrior tribe of Nagaland, generally celebrated for 10 days. And its main objective is to revive and protect the rich culture of Nagaland, display its traditions, culture, and it is also to encourage inter-tribal interaction and to promote cultural heritage of Nagaland. And the festival is named after the bird Indian hornbill, the large and colorful forest bird which is displayed in the folklore of the most of the state's tribe. And it is celebrated by organizing several tradition arts, folk songs, games, indigenous traditions like food, etc. So you have to remember, it is 22nd Hornbill Festival which is celebrated by Nagaland. But you have to remember, Nagaland governor is Jagdish Mukhi, who has additional charge of Nagaland, and he is currently the permanent governor of Assam. And you have to remember, the chief minister is Neiphiu Rio. Moving to next question. What is the name of project on future refrigeration India recently awarded to Central Institute of Fisheries Technology? First of all, you have to remember, Central Institute of Fishery Technology comes under the ICAR. It means Indian Council for Agriculture Research, and this is situated in Kochi. So Future Refrigeration India project name is INDEE plus, INDI plus. So answer of this question is D. So the Kochi-based Indian Council for Agriculture Research, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology, has been awarded a project on the Future Refrigeration India, which is named as INDI plus, aimed at heading the fuel transition in the seafood sector. So you can see here, it is aimed at heading the fuel transition in the seafood sector. And the project was also highlighted at 26th International Climate Conference workshop on the Future Refrigeration Project, which was held in Glasgow. And this project is coordinated by Norwegian University of Science and Technology. Again, this is very important. And they also intend to promote carbon dioxide based refrigeration and heating system that replace the current refrigerants and natural, clean and safe refrigerants. And the project INDI Plus is an umbrella project that covers several schemes supporting the Indian refrigeration and air conditioning sector in transition towards the cleaner and greener technology. and especially the Indian fishery sector, because Indian fishery sector committed towards achieving the net zero carbon emission by the year of 2070, which was committed at the 26th International Climate Conference in the Glasgow. You can also remember this was happening in Glasgow, Scotland, in United Kingdom. So remember these things and remember this institution, again very important. This is Central Institute of Fishery Technology, which is situated in Kochi, and name of the refrigeration project is INDI Plus. Moving to next question. Which organization and Ministry of Communication conducted a joint cyber drill 2021? And this organization, and the question is very simple, because if you know the abbreviation, then you can answer very easily. Like I am telling you the abbreviation, this is ITU, International Telecommunication Union. Next is World Trade Organization. Next is World Maritime Organization. Next is International Maritime Organization. This is World Meteorological Organization, and this is International Maritime Organization. So it is with the Ministry of Communication. So by default, only organization which is related to communication is International Telecommunication Union. So answer of this question is A. Very simple question. Just remember the question as same as in slide. And International Telecommunication Union and the Department of Telecommunication, which comes under the Ministry of Communication, started or you can say conducted a joint cyber drill of 2021. And you can also remember that it was conducted for the critical network infrastructure operators of India. You have to remember this word, critical network infrastructure. What is this? Critical network infrastructure are the system, assets and networks that are essential to ensure the security of the country. And 2021 India, you can say International Telecommunication Union joint cyber drill for Indian entities, which will emphasize the role of National Computer Incident and the Response Team, Computer Security Incident Response Team in building cyber resilience and protecting critical information infrastructure. So it means this type of infrastructure basically ensure the security of the country, and it will improve the cyber security readiness of India and also helps to test an organizational cyber capabilities against the cyber attack, information security incident and the other disruption in our country. No one can hack our information data and very important data. So this is the digital security which will be provided through this critical network infrastructure. So just remember, it is International Telecommunication Union, which was established in 1865 and its headquarters is in Geneva. Moving to next question. Which state has become India's leading manufacturing hub according to the data of RBI? So it is the data of RBI, and India's leading manufacturing hub basically earlier was Maharashtra, but now it is superseded by Gujarat. So answer of this question is B. So it is according to the data of Reserve Bank of India that Gujarat has surpassed Maharashtra to become India's leading manufacturing hub because its gross value addition in manufacturing grew by 15.9% annually between financial year of 2012 to financial year of 2020. So between 12 to 20, its manufacturing growth is basically 15.9% annually. So it is approximately 55.11 lakh crore. So it is huge. So it is gross value addition. What is GVA? GVA basically indicates the economic growth in the supply of goods and services. And if you subtract the, you can say net product taxes, GDP minus net product taxes, then you will get the GVA. So this is the formula you have to remember. GDP minus net product taxes, then you will get the gross value addition. And you have to remember GVA indicates economic growth in supply of goods and services. So Gujarat displaced Maharashtra to become the largest manufacturing hub in the country. And on the first position it is Gujarat, and on the second position it is Maharashtra. And third position is Tamil Nadu. If you belongs to these states, then you have to remember. Third is Tamil Nadu. Fourth is Karnataka. And fifth one is Uttar Pradesh. Especially you have to remember about Uttar Pradesh. Moving to next question. Who wrote a book 1971, Charge of the Gorkhas and the Other Stories? So very important book, and this is a new book that unearths true stories of 1971 Indo-Pakistan War. And the name of the book is 1971, Charge of the Gorkhas and the Other Story. And this book is written by Rachna Bisht Rawat. So answer of this question is C. And this book is published by Penguin Random House. You can see here the logo. and this is 1971 Charge of the Gorkhas. Rachana Bisht Rawat, I am repeating again. And the book includes from the story of the flight lieutenant who went missing after his plane crashed inside Pakistan to the last Kukri attack in the modern military history. So you have to remember this 1971 war. This is the 13-day military conflict, like from December 1971. It was started on 3rd of December 1971 and it lasted on 16th of December 1971, which was one of the shortest war in the history. And it ended with a decisive win for India and led to the creation of a new country. This is Bangladesh. And Bangladesh is also celebrating 50th year of independence or 50th year of formation. So 50th anniversary of 1971 Indo-Pak war is scheduled to be celebrated in Pune, Maharashtra from December 3 to 16, because this war happened for 13 days starting to end like 3rd December to 16th of December. So remember, it is Rachana Bisht Rawat. And you can also remember the other books here, like you can see here the author Chidanand Rajgatta. Chidanand Rajgatta basically wrote a very famous book named as Kamala Harris. I have to change the color so that you can remember. So name of the book is Kamala Harris, Phenomenal Woman. Phenomenal Woman. Next is Venkata Raghavan Subhash Srinivasan wrote a book, The Origin Story of India State. Yeah, Indian States, India's states. So very important, because it is how Indian states evolved. So this is very famous book. And next is Subramanian Swamy, very famous and controversial leader, and he wrote a book, Human Rights and Terrorism in India. Human Rights and Terrorism in India. So again, very famous books. You have to remember all the books. Moving to next question, what will be the new name of one of the Ladakh mountain recently named by Indo-Tibetan Border Police? Again, very famous question. Why this question is very important? Because recently Indo-Tibetan Border Police mountaineering team of ITBP is known as Shikhar. Shikhar, by the name you can guess, Shikhar means top. So Shikhar scaled 2 mountains, which is almost about 6,000 meter high mountains in the eastern Ladakh, and named one of them as a Norbu Wangdu peak. So answer of this question is D. D is the answer. So you can see here it is dedicated to the late Indo-Tibetan Border Police mountaineer and head constable Norbu Wangdu from Ladakh. Very important. And its length is almost 6'2", it means its height is almost 6,250 meter. And he died during an avalanche in the Gangotri 1 in Uttarakhand in October 2019. Gangotri is name of the glacier from which Bhagirathi starts, and after that Bhagirathi becomes Ganga. And remember, Indo-Tibetan Border Police formed in 1962. Indo-Tibetan Border Police basically formed in the year of 1962 and holds a unique record of 223 successful mountaineering expeditions. So remember, this is a Shikhar team who expedited this Ladakh mountain, and this Ladakh mountain named as Norbu Wangdu Peak. Remember these things. And name of this Indo-Tibetan Border Police mountaineer team is Shikhar. Next is recently Konnichetti Rosaya passed away, and he was former governor and chief minister of which state respectively. So you have to tell me first the former governor. He was the former governor of which state? Next you have to answer he was the former chief minister of which state. So you have options, and you have to tell me. Answer of this question is again simple. If you know the chief minister, then you can answer very easily. He was the former chief minister of United Andhra Pradesh. So only one option is there, and he was the former governor of Tamil Nadu as well. So answer of this question is B. So you can see here former governor of Tamil Nadu and former chief minister of United State of Andhra Pradesh, K. Rosaya, or you can say Konnichetti Rosaya, passed away. And you can remember that currently he is basically living in Hyderabad in Telangana, and he served as the chief minister of undivided Andhra Pradesh from 2009 to 2010. He was the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, and he became the chief minister after the death of then chief minister Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy, and he served as the governor of Tamil Nadu from 2011 to 2016, and also has an additional charge of governor of Karnataka for 2 months, like in 2014. So he was former governor of Karnataka as well with additional charge, permanent governor of Tamil Nadu, and also the former chief minister of Andhra Pradesh. So that's why this question is very, very important. Konnichetti Rosaya. Moving to next question, you can also remember this. Konnichetti Rosaya was a member of Indian National Congress and was the first elected as a member of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Council in 1968. Again, very important question for Andhra Pradesh students. and he was longest serving finance minister. Very important line. He was longest serving finance minister and has presented the state budget 16 times, the highest record in India. Very important question, even the most important line here. So you have to remember. Next is International Day of Banks, especially this question I am covering for the banking students. You can see here, International Day of Banks, 4th of December 2021. It is to recognize the vital role of the banking system in the United Nations member states in contributing to the improvement of their standard of living. But you have to remember, last year we celebrated first International Day of Banks. So this is the second International Day of Banks we are celebrating. And 4th of December marks the second International Day of Banks. Remember, first was celebrated in the year of 2020. And this day also recognizes the potential of multilateral developmental banks and the other international development banks in financing sustainable development. It also includes World Bank, it also includes the BRICS Bank, New Developmental Bank. So all banks are basically included under this. Now we are moving to the important question section, but first of all, you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link. The new species of butterfly found in Sikkim Zongu area, and this is named as chocolate bordered flitter, because you can see here very small chocolate border is here, so that's why it is named after this chocolate bordered flitter. But its scientific name is Zographitus zonguensis, and this is basically founded in Sikkim. Just remember, this is founded in Sikkim. And the team of researchers who discovered this species has proposed this name chocolate bordered flitter as the English name for its chocolate colored border around both the wings. And remember about Sikkim. Sikkim's chief minister is Prem Singh Tamang, T-A-M-A-N-G, Tamang, and governor is Ganga Prasad. Remember, the scientific name is Zographitus. Next, moving to one-liner important points. Government of India to develop indigenous jet engines for the light combat aircraft Tejas aircrafts. Currently, the light combat aircraft Tejas is integrated with an important engine, but to develop indigenous India and to develop self-reliant India, especially in the defense sector, we will develop indigenous jet engines for the Tejas aircraft. Very simple one-liner point. Otherwise, this is not a question. This is just a information. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated and lays foundation stone for multiple projects in the Dehradun. You all know, I think in 2022, there are elections in 4 or 5 states, I think. One is Uttarakhand here, Goa is there, Punjab is there, and Uttar Pradesh is there. And I think one and more state is there. So that's why he laid foundation stone for worth rupees 15,000 crore in Dehradun, Uttarakhand. So this is so much. And remember, the Chief Minister is Pushkar Singh Dhami, and Governor is Gurmeet Singh. Next, Aviation Ministry Jyotiraditya Scindia announced new helicopter policy to set up dedicated hubs and corridor. So this is a 10-point scale theory. 10 points are basically given under this theory and or this policy. And this is third helicopter summit 2021 with the theme of India at the rate 75, expeding the growth of Indian helicopter industry and enhancing air connectivity. And this is organized by very important organization. This is FICCI, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So under this new policy, dedicated hubs and corridors will be established to boost air connectivity. Initially, 4 heli hubs and training units will be set up in Mumbai, in Juhu area, in Guwahati, Assam, Delhi, and Bengaluru. So these 4 areas where heli hubs will be established: Mumbai, Guwahati, Delhi, Bengaluru. Next is Pulitzer winning American scholar Martin J. Sherwin passed away. You have to just remember that this author belongs to America, United States of America. And Martin J. Sherwin, as an American scholar of atomic weapons, passed away in United States of America. He was also born in United States of America. So just remember. Next, Rajasthan government signs 145 MOUs and letter of intent for around 79,000 crore during the Invest Rajasthan Roadshow in New Delhi. Again, it is very important because this is just to make Rajasthan self-reliant so that maximum to maximum opportunities can be created in the Rajasthan and employment opportunities can be generated through this investment. And Rajasthan Chief Minister, you have to remember, Ashok Gehlot ji, and Governor is Kalraj Mishra. Recently, Tiger Reserve is declared. Ramgarh Tiger Reserve is declared in Rajasthan. Next, Indian Navy Day observed on 4th of December. So it is to commemorate the victory of India's Navy Operation Trident. Navy's Operation Trident, launched in 1971 during Indo-Pak War, and to pay homage to the martyrs who lost their lives in the line of duty. And the day reaffirms the Indian Navy commitment to preserve, protect and promote India's maritime interest. And the theme of 2021 Navy Day is Swarnim Vijay Varsh. Swarnim Vijay Varsh. Why? I already told you that we are celebrating 50th anniversary of winning Indo-Pak War, which was happened in December 1971 and created a new country which is known as Bangladesh. So it is Swarnim Vijay Varsh. And it highlights the 50th anniversary of the victory of Indian Armed Forces in the 1971 Indo-Pak War. And Indian Navy Week is celebrated from 1st of December to 7th of December. Just remember, first week of December is celebrated as Indian Navy Day. And who is currently the new Chief of Navy Staff? It is Admiral R. Hari Kumar. R. Hari Kumar. Moving to next question, it is the question of the day. What was the question of 4th of December 2021? Very interesting question. When were the Basel III guidelines released? So you have to remember, first of all, what is Basel? Basel Committee, initially named as the Committee on Banking Regulation and Supervisory Practice, and it was established by the central bank governors of the group of 10 countries at the end of 1974 in aftermath of serious disturbances in the international currency and the banking market, especially in Germany. And what are Basel norms basically? Basel is a city in Switzerland and it is headquarters of Bureau of International Settlement, BIS, and which fosters cooperation among the central banks with the common goal of financial stability and common standards of the banking regulation. Now, first Basel norms was like Basel I. Basel I introduced capital measurement system called Basel Capital Accord and also called Basel I. It was basically established in 1988. So it focused almost entirely on credit risk and it defined capital and structure at risk weighted for the banks. So that's why they defined minimum capital requirement was fixed as 8% of risk weighted ratio. Next, after that, Basel II was formed. Basel II was basically formed in the year of 2004 and it is considered to be the refined and reformed version of the Basel I Accord, and the guidelines were based on the three parameters. One is capital adequacy ratio, second is supervisory review, third one is market discipline. So these three are the main pillars of the Basel II norms. After that, Basel III guidelines were released and it was released in the year of 2010. It was released in the year of 2010. And these guidelines were introduced in response to the financial crisis of 2008, and a need was felt to further strengthen the system of banks in the developed economies and were undercapitalized, over-leveraged and had a greater reliance on the shorter term funding. So that's why Basel III guidelines were released in the year of 2010. So now we are moving to the question of the day. Term money has a maturity period beyond dash. So you have to tell me, because I think all the students know what is notice money, what is term money. So these are the terms which are used in the you can say call money market. So you have to tell me what is known as term money, what is call money. So these are the terms which are used during the call money market. So just remember, term money has a maturity period beyond, and you have to tell me answer only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. Please like this video, please share this video as much as possible, and please subscribe the channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram channel as well. Or you can also press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. It is a Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. Definitely. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye. But I am requesting you, all the students, that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will see three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing 4 type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is best 100 current affair, that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and fourth one is pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. It means if you want to cover one particular topic, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing 3 things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these 3 things are only related to banking and economy. And you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing you state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID, then click on this crack current affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But if you're a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID.